My wife died from motor neuron disease in November 2020. She actually had it for 6 years. She had the ALS type of motor neuron disease, which doesn't normally go on for more than 5 years and can be a lot shorter. It started in the big toe of her right foot. She showed me one day that her big toe was drooping. She couldn't lift it up. Shortly after, she began to walk very flat-footed on that foot, and then we found that she had vacillations, like ripples going up the muscles in that leg. Then it started in the other leg. She had great difficulty walking. She finished up with 2 walking sticks, and then she had to use a scooter. Then, as time went on, the disease spread up her body and it hit her diaphragm, which is what makes us breathe. So she had to be on a ventilator, first of all just at night, and then day and night for the last couple of years of her life. So what causes this disease? We had great difficulty getting a diagnosis from the NHS, so we finished up going to a private consultant in Exeter, and he did some tests and he came back saying eventually that she had MND. Now, 3 days after she was diagnosed, the specialist nurse who covers the whole of the West Country came to see us, and my wife was saying, "How did I get this disease?" So the nurse said, "Well, the medical people will tell you there's no known cause, but she said, I would tell you, and I only see people with MND, that every one of them is a driven person." I looked across at my wife because you've never met a workaholic like my wife. So what actually happens? What's the progression of the disease? God gave us adrenaline so that we had extra energy in an emergency. But what if we run ourselves on adrenaline day after day, week after week, month after month? Eventually, we begin to accumulate cortisol. It's quite well known that cortisol is the stress hormone. What isn't known is that once you've got too much cortisol, if you still keep pressuring yourself, your body accumulates glutamate. Now, glutamate is needed by your brain, just a little bit of it. So your brain has valves to control the amount of glutamate that goes into it. But what happens if your body is flooded with it? It floods through those barriers and it saturates your brain. It's quite well known that glutamate kills motor neurons. So what do motor neurons do? They carry the messages from your brain to your muscles. So eventually you become more and more and more paralyzed. Once the disease starts, there's no stopping it until you're completely paralyzed. So my advice is, if you're a workaholic, think again. It's not worth it.